Hello, Aries. Welcome to your reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Wheel of Fortune. Well, that's a pretty good way to start a tarot reading. This is a Jupiter energy. This is expansion. This is, first of all, your luck is changing. Okay? This is prosperity. Okay? Requires our faith, our hope, and our trust in the divine timing. Okay? You may have been feeling lately that you've sort of been at the bottom of the wheel, between the rubber and the road, right? This card is saying that things are changing. Spirit is saying things are changing. Okay? There's a different way for you. You're meant for great things. Okay? This is very expansive energy. I feel like you are, you're going to find ways to grow and to expand in whatever area, whatever dimension you're working in right now. Whether it's the physical dimension, mental, emotional, spiritual, fitness, finances, friends, family, whatever it might be. Your life is going to get broader. Your experiences will become more varied, right? Your horizons are expanding. Okay? This is very, very good energy. There's going to be a lot more synchronicity. There's going to be an uptick in those meaningful coincidences in your life. You're going to start getting a lot more green lights with this one. Okay? I think you're somebody that trusts in the divine timing. I think that you don't want to suffer, right? But you understand that things kind of happen in cycles in the universe, and when things are down, we're confident they're going to get back up. When they're up, we know that this may not last forever, so let's seize the day, before things start trending downward again. Life is a fluctuation. Yeah. Life is a cycle. Yeah. But Spirit's saying that it is your time now. It's your time to find your success, to ride that upward wave of energy, of prosperity. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, shall we? Let's see what is going on. This is a really, really wonderful way to begin. Now we have some Leo energy. This is a fixed fire energy, the Prince of Wands. We've got the Hermit. We've got that Devil card. We've got another Leo card, the Lust or Strength card, and a Prince of Cups. So this really, we have, look at that, we've got these two, they're like siblings, right? Fixed fire and fixed water. A lot of hard work and a lot of joy coming your way. On the path of the Serpent here, we have, there it is, there's the I knew we'd get the Emperor somewhere. That is the card that rules the sign of Aries. This is your superpower card. And it is in your general energy. It's Aries o'clock right now in the universe. And it's your time. Okay, this is a sort of a double confirmation here. Wheel of Fortune, and you are in your sort of, you're in harmony with your true self right now. Okay? And we want to keep that harmony. And there's the Lover's card, a lot of major arcana today. Another very interesting. Now we've got the Capricorn Devil card and the Capricorn Power card with the Knight of Pentacles. Same thing with Leo. If I were you, I would watch both the Leo and the Capricorn readings on this channel, okay? And there's the Ace of Cups. Yeah, this is your reward. This is pure gold. I don't know if you can see, I'm getting goosebumps here. This is a lot of major arcana. I'm getting the chills here. This Ace of Cups at the end is absolutely beautiful. And it is the reward. It is you sort of achieving whatever goal in your life you are after right now. Okay, whatever you're doing is working. And I think Spirit really with this Prince of Wands is telling you to keep doing what you're doing, to keep going. Okay? These two cards together are very interesting because sometimes the Prince of Cups to me feels like it almost feels like we're sort of nervous. You know how when you get nervous and you start getting kind of clammy, like your hands start sweating and stuff? It feels like that's part of this. And to me, it feels like it's a little bit of like, I don't know, like stage fright kind of. I don't think that kind of fear or that kind of stage fright or that nervousness ever goes away. What happens is we're familiar with it. We know how to handle it. So we get braver. We get more used to it. Oh, okay, my palms are sweaty and I'm nervous and, I got stage fright again. It's going to happen every time. I think I've heard a lot of musicians and things like this talk about that. That every time they get out on stage or every time, the director says action, they still have that stage fright and that nerve. They still have the nerves. The only difference is that over time through experience, they've learned how to handle it. So it's not real. I mean, it's still there, but it's not overwhelming them in their mind or their nervous system, and they're able to just sort of function well despite that. Okay. So I kind of see that idea here for you. Now let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And that's going to go right here. Oh, it's not. Nope, it's not Michael Scott anymore, is it? We're going to put Michael Scott at the end of the line. And it's time for everyone's favorite, Tiny Bob Ross. Happy little Bob. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. All right, at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments down below. Let's look around the room. Again, a lot of major arcana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana energies. Yeah, this is pure gold. This reading is for you, especially with your Emperor card as your general energy. A lot of the Capricorn energy, a lot of the Leo energy here. And Capricorn and Leo are going to be the spiritual qualities that you need right now to push your way forward, to take advantage of the opportunities. You have to take advantage of the green lights. If Spirit is opening the way for you, if Spirit is saying, hey, it's Aries o'clock. Because see, the Wheel of Fortune is the cosmic timepiece. It's Spirit's wristwatch. Right? And Spirit's kind of looking at the watch and saying, oh, it's time for Aries now. Right? You've got to hear the call. It's like a stage call or whatever they call it, right? It's like, when the MC announces you got to, what, me? You got to get out on stage. You got to go do it. You got to perform. You've got to do the work, right? You've got to take advantage of this space now. It's like you're in the comedy store or something, and the MC announces your name. You got 5 minutes. You better you better take advantage of that 5 minutes because it's going to be very intense. No, it's going to be more than 5 minutes, but you get the idea. So Spirit can't do anything but arrange things for you, set the stage, as it were. Okay? It's up to you then to take advantage of that and to take action. So this is really the card about you being brave. This is the card about you really staying consistent in your life right now. It doesn't mean that you've been sitting on your butt and then now suddenly the MC calls your name. Now you get to get up and do your work. Well, you've been working this whole time. Well, we got that devil card in your history, right? You've been grinding away for a long, long time here. Maybe even I'm going to say something a year ago. Something happened about a year ago. That was the beginning of something for you. And you've been consistently doing it steadily, with endurance, with perseverance, with tenacity, with stamina. Spirit's saying, keep doing it because it's just about your time to hit. Things are going to open up for you right now. You have to stay consistent. Keep doing what you have been doing. Don't slow down. Don't speed up. Don't start doubting yourself or second guessing things. Don't worry about anything. This is kind of a weird spread, right? Because it's all major arcana energies, and then it's a couple of court cards and a lot of love. So we have these 3 court cards. Let me just address this. There is a group of people. I feel like it's 3 of you, but maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But I feel like there's 3 of you, and it's either your best friends or your closest family members or your closest coworkers or your band or your team, or something like that. It could really be, this could be siblings. I feel like maybe you have a sibling that's either the same age as you, like a twin, or someone very close in age. And I feel like the father figure in your life was very important in some way, right? And in that note, I feel like there is some happy news coming your way from a distance. It's either like a phone call or a letter or something, maybe an email, I guess, nowadays. But there's some good news that's coming your way regarding the father figure, okay? Or the male energy that helped to raise you, I guess, is that paternal energy. But there is this group of people around you. So it's either like a family thing, or you got your best friends with you or something. People are very close to you, and they may be involved in this, again, the work. When I say work on this channel, by the way, I don't just mean what you're doing for money. I don't just mean you have a job. I mean whatever your focus is in life, whatever you're putting your effort, energy, time, and or money into, that's your work, okay? It doesn't matter how old you are. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you're 120 years old. Maybe you're a teenager. Maybe it's school. Maybe it's career. Maybe it's the garden, the community center, the library. I don't know. Whatever it is, spiritual development, okay, is always a part of this. Because everything that we do physically in the material world has its corresponding spiritual effects as well. Okay, psychological, spiritual, internal, mental, emotional, all that stuff. So anyway, the court cards are representing that sort of group scenario for you, and all under this unity of the Ace of Cups. Okay, so I feel like it's really a one love kind of situation with the people in your life. They feel like family, whether it's work or friends or something like coworkers or associates or something. It feels like family. Okay, and it might even be the case for you that there's some sort of a reunion taking place, a reunion of family, or maybe it's kind of something with this father figure. But I feel like there's kind of there's a closeness. There is, and it feels to me like a reunion. Like it's people that maybe it's reconciliation, maybe it's getting over some kind of a conflict and things are coming back together. But I feel like there's a reunion taking place. Yeah. And the Hermit underneath everything is kind of goes along with that, because I feel that you have been, well, you're somebody that tends to isolate themselves at times. I think when you're very focused on your work, you tend to just be a little bit asocial. You're not worried about you're not really worried about others so much. You're not worried about what you might be missing outside. You sort of stay home and you grind, you get to work, you do what you need to do. You know, you sequester. I don't like the word isolate. You sequester yourself for the time being, because a sequestering implies it's temporary. Okay? It's sort of voluntary and it's temporary. We're sequestering ourselves to focus on something intensely. And then, then we'll have our reunion, which is, of course, quite the opposite of the Hermit, is the Lovers, right? So I think that you have been hermit mode for a while, and you're somebody that goes through cycles like that. Again, cycles with the Wheel of Fortune. So you sequester yourself, you focus intensely on your work, and I think that's what's been happening. I think it's been like a year, okay? I'm getting like a 12-month kind of time frame for something anyway, that you've been sort of focused in this way, in this hermit kind of way, right? And what I feel now is that it's time for you to now get out into the public space again. It's kind of you're having this reunion, you're having this return to life, return to social life, return to this sort of more extroverted way. Okay? And I can't help but just picture somebody who is saying no to a lot of social events because they're working either at home or at school or in the office, and you're focused intensely. And you reach this point of success, and now it's okay. Now I can go out and I can see my friends again. Now I can go and spend time with the family. Now I can go and socialize and really live it up and really attend to all the social events and things like that, which really is a celebration that we see with the Ace of Cups at the end. So I think all of your hard work is going to be very richly rewarded. Okay. In the background here, we do have this devil energy. I feel you're somebody who's you've made already a lot of progress in your spiritual development, your psychological or personal development. I think you've overcome a lot of kind of temptation, right, with the devil card. You've overcome a lot of like bad habits in your life, right? You're a different person now, you would admit, I think, than you were several years ago or even the 1 year ago time frame. You're very different than you were. And I think that, maybe even when you were younger, you didn't have much ambition. You weren't all that serious or focused or active, right? Then something changed. I don't know if you made a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna actually, it's time I get to work. But I feel like it was about a year ago where you really started working hard on something. It has a physical component to it, but really it's character building, it's personal development, self-development, okay? And I think that this is what you've been focusing on for the last year, right? Where you've had to say no to a lot of things out there because you're saying yes to something that really is meaningful to you. In other words, you're willing to sacrifice those things that aren't absolutely necessary for this, so that you can have the time, effort, energy, and or money to do this work and achieve this level of success. The greatness of the Wheel of Fortune doesn't just, very rarely comes to anyone like that, right? It's luck, it seems, right? It's like, suddenly I just fell into some good luck. Well, I think it's through a lifetime of karma, for one thing. But I think it's also, for you, it's a long period of very hard work and a lot of sacrifices. Sometimes this goat is a very lonely mountain goat, and you've been climbing the mountain. Perhaps at times you felt all by yourself. But you've been doing it, climbing day after day, one step at a time. Even when things felt even when you've been feeling it, like I said at the beginning, that you're sort of at the bottom of the wheel between the rubber and the road, right? Just getting ground down by life. You never gave up and you never quit. You kept working on whatever you're working on, okay? And the Leo energy up top here with this lust card. You're somebody who faces your fears, okay? And right now, this might be the biggest test of your life, because if you are at the bottom of the wheel, feeling like you're being ground down by life, it's very difficult to go on. This is someone who, someone's trying to be a stand-up comic, right? Every time they go on stage, they bomb, they get heckled, right? And they're just it's a bad time. But you know what? Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're going and they're doing it again. They're going back. They're taking the worst time slots. They're doing like the Sunday morning, Sunday lunchtime time slots. They're still trying. They're not giving up. And they're facing that fear. And every time you get out on stage, every time you do this work, you're facing this fear of, all sorts of things. Right? We're facing that kind of stage fright, the anxiety, the performance anxiety that we have. And you're a very courageous person, and I don't think we don't ever get less scared. What happens is we get more brave, we get more confident. Yeah. And I think that right now, as a contrast with our hermit energy, you are ready for the good time, okay? That you have been grinding away long enough that you're ready for the party of that lust card. You're ready to satisfy some of your appetites. See, the mountain goat is kind of like, I'm climbing the mountain. I need to stay focused, and I need to stay really strong, and I don't want to. It's kind of a lean energy, right? And it's just sort of we're eating when we can. We're taking our meals sort of on the go. That sort of thing. It's very lean energy. because we got to keep going, we got to keep working. So I'm gonna eat what I can over here. We're always on the move. So this is almost an austerity. Okay, and then we get, of course, the lust card, and this feels it feels robust. It feels like a party. It feels like a feast. That we've been living that sort of austere life, as we've been, the hermit and the devil, living that very austere life to do the work, whether this is a spiritual work or a physical, financial work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but how and why. Okay. And I think why you have been living that austere hermit life is to produce the robustness and the feast for yourself and your loved ones, right? It's a feast of friends. Yeah. And this is what we've been working toward. And now it's kind of like this time is here where everything's going to level up. Everything's going to expand. It's the world is opening up to you. The banquet hall is opening up to you, and it is a veritable feast. Okay. And this feast is bringing you back together with, it is a reunion. So it may even be that there's like literally a family gathering that's taking place, or people you haven't seen in a long time, or just indulgences, appetites that you've had to sort of say no to focus. Now you're saying yes. Now you're saying yes to it. Now it's like you've earned the feast. Okay? And the table is laid out for you. And now in the future position, we've got a Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups is someone who's always trying to live authentically. So we're always trying to face our fears. And living authentically is sort of to admit, I'm scared. My palms are sweaty, and I'm pale, and I'm nervous, my heart's beating. I'm scared. But I'm going to keep doing it. And the authenticity there is to admit that I'm still scared. I still get the butterflies. I still get nervous. But able to turn that into a sort of excitement. Rather than being scared, rather than being nervous, we could start calling it excitement. And then it sort of, it transforms, right? It's the same feelings, the butterflies in your tummy and the sweatiness. But we just start calling it excitement. Then, okay, well now that sort of means that if I'm scared, it means I don't want to engage. I'm recoiling from something. If I'm excited, that means I'm leaning into it. That means I'm moving forward into this situation. Okay, into this work, into this life. I feel like this is also, this is a card that is sort of like that performer. It's somebody who has something to say, has some sort of art. It's like the poet. The poet is just compelled to write poetry, right? The filmmaker is just compelled by their nature to make films. Or whatever you do. Whatever the work is that you're doing, I feel like you're doing it because it is who you are, and there's this need in you, a drive for you to do this. Okay, and I feel like this is how you stay true to yourself. Yeah. And even the devil card back here, this is that creative drive as well. This is your drive. There's something in you, that engine inside of you that just needs to do this. Because this is your purpose. This is your will. This is something that goes beyond just your human personality. And Spirit's saying, keep doing it. Keep doing it like it is your entire world. And it will pay off for you. And then even in the future, it's kind of saying, all of the success isn't going to spoil you. You are still going to confront that realm that scares you, and you're going to do it courageously, and you're going to express yourself. In other words, you're staying true to yourself, true to your roots. You're not selling out. But you are accepting the rewards. You're accepting the feast. You're going to accept the profit and the benefits of your success. You're going to stay authentic, and you're going to stay true to yourself here. Okay? I think this is a very good card. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And it really supports me, and I appreciate that. Your general energy, of course, is the Emperor, right? You're able to make wonderful, appropriate decisions, right? The Emperor is also the one that now kind of has the keys to the kingdom, right? It's the one that's been lifted up and raised and put on the throne. So I feel like you are reaching that level of success, that level of prominence, It's your time to be at the top of the wheel. This is someone at the top of the wheel who's in charge of everything. You're in control of the entire realm. It's your duty to protect the realm, but also to ensure that the realm is prosperous, to make decisions that might not be very popular, but also to enjoy the luxury, enjoy the perks that come with the job, and I think that you've earned that. And I think that when you reach a level of success, you don't need to stay in the hermit, devil, austerity, humbleness, and refuse to drink the fancy coffee or whatever. You know what I mean? That's not necessary. By shunning the fruits of your labors, it doesn't keep you more spiritual. It doesn't keep you more authentic. You're achieving success and recognition for something that you've been working very hard on. And you deserve to drink the fancy coffee, receive all the applause and the accolades, right? And be proud of yourself. And accept the monetary or financial compensation that goes with it, right? You've earned the perks of the job. Okay, so it's kind of like you see somebody who's a very successful business person and they're driving a nice car and you think, oh, look at them with the nice car, Well, they've earned that. And so have you. Okay, and so I'm talking about this because there's such a contrast between the Emperor and the Lust card. Because the Emperor now just greedy for all the good stuff, right? Just wants the luxury and all that. Whereas the Hermit and the Devil are kind of saying that even when I'm successful, I'm going to drive the old broken down car, And so there's a balance between these two. There's a balance between living that, kind of simple, practical, pragmatic, more austere and lean kind of life of the Hermit and Devil. And then there, of course, is the rich, robust banquet feast of the Emperor and the Lust card. We need a balance between the two, don't we? Either one is not really appropriate. Okay? You are achieving, let's say it's the business person who's very, very successful, CEO of a wonderful company, makes billions of dollars or whatever. And they're dressed in just rags, driving an old beaten up car, and they... yes, and you can look at that and be like, oh, wow, that's somebody who's very humble, right? But it seems odd. It seems inappropriate. It seems they should at least, be put together a little bit, right? I think there's a balance that's needed between these two types of energy. These are very, very different energies. Okay, in combination. That's the only reason I bring that up is because we have the sort of juxtaposition here. Okay. But we have to be careful not to lean so far into our Emperor success, the status, that we're going to drink the a $50 latte and get a $1,000 haircut every week. You know what I mean? That there's excess, but then there's also extreme the other way, where we just deny ourselves everything. Okay. And now, the real meat of this thing is the Lover's card in the position of your environment, of your relationships. I think long-lost family or friends are coming back together. It might be, something related with the father figure. I don't know if your father's passed, but I kind of feel like maybe the siblings are finally going to reunite, get back together. This could be that you haven't seen your father in a long time. Okay, but there's a reunion. With the Lover's card, it doesn't always mean romance. Okay, it could in this instance. Maybe this means that you've done a lot of that self-work, that self-development, and now your opportunity for true love and true romance and a soulmate kind of relationship is opening up to you. Okay, and it's probably not what most of you want to hear, but that is one interpretation of this. Okay, that this is now you've done that work and you're ready now for this soulmate. You're ready for your beloved to appear in whatever form. Okay, you've done the internal part of the work. Now we're ready to unite with that which is meant for us. It feels to me like family reunion, but this really could be you coming together with that kind of a soulmate energy. Okay. And it says the Lover's card, it does not have to be romance. Very often it's a choice that we're making. It's the idea that, okay, we've done the work over here. Now we're ready for this union. Now we're ready for this. Whatever that union or reunion is, you've now done the work to prepare yourself for this. Okay, I think that's a very important part of your life right now. The Capricorn energy, the Knight of Pentacles, is in the position of the difficulty. And I think the difficult part, other than the stuff with the father figure, which I think the father figure is very important to you, and I don't know what that energy is exactly, but I feel that there is this reunion kind of thing happening. The Knight of Pentacles is also about your vision of the future. It's difficult for you to really see the future right now, because I think it's kind of like it's not hazy, it's not dark and dim. The problem is it's too bright. Okay? The problem is that everything right now seems absolutely glorious. You're at the top of the wheel now. You're in your Emperor energy. You're in that lust energy. And things seem overwhelmingly positive that it's too bright. As we're looking at the future and trying to see what's going to happen in a week, a year, 10 years, can't see it, it's too bright. Very often we have the other problem. We're trying to see the future, it's too dim, it's too dark, I can't see what's going to happen. So either way, it's a problem, right? I'd rather have a future that's too bright than too dark. But we have to remember that there will be light and shadow in this future. But we have to try to get a clear vision of where we want life to go in a week, a month, a year, 10 years, etc. Long-term sort of future planning here. That's what we need. That's the difficulty. This position is the position of the difficulty. Right? And it's also the fear. It could be there's a fear that this win, this pure gold that you're experiencing now, or you're going to be experiencing, is not going to last. But we have to, still, same energy. We've got to be able to get a clear vision, a more clear vision of the future, so that we can make sure that in 10 years, who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Make sure we have the future we want. Yeah, this may not last very long, but if you can at least see the future and try to plan out an ideal future, you can try to make it last as long as you can, as long as possible. Yeah. Because right now it feels like bliss. And right now, the Knight of Pentacles, all you can really see with and again, it's sort of related to the Capricorn energy, all we can see is that love, that shining, that's a radiant light of love and joy and bliss, right? So it's really hard to see how the future looks too bright. I can't see it. Okay, we have to be able to extrapolate on that and see how this is going to play out. We're going to 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Cups. We have to be able to sort of expand on that and see and plan and have an intention. How do you want your future to go? What are your long-term plans here? Right now, Wheel of Fortune, Emperor, Lust card, we're just kind of living in the moment, but the Emperor has to look at the future. You have to think, okay, this is a wild party. The party's not going to last forever. I want to make sure that I set certain things up so that there is a very prosperous future. In other words, don't spend all the money. You got to invest some of it too. We're not just going to throw one party to end all parties, right? We're not Entertainment 720 here. We've got a plan. Okay. And we're going to plan so that this Ace of Cups, this moment, lasts as long as it can. And this is really good. I'm getting the shivers again. Let's look at our mystery card, okay? I'd like to see some swords cards, believe it or not. We don't have any swords, right? We don't have any air energy really at all, except for maybe the Gemini energy with the Lover's card. Right, that's sort of some air energy, but this is about that union or reunion. But I want to see a little bit of communication. I want to see a little bit, perhaps, of planning. I would like to see a 6 of Swords. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. Well, we've got a King of Cups. This one again. It's an echoing of this idea. You're not selling out. You're staying authentic. You're staying true to yourself. Right? You are riding on the water on your little raft, but you're not getting wet. Okay? So you're immersing yourself in all of this social activity, all of this big feast, the grandeur, the extravagance, the luxury of someone who is just stepping into this emperor energy with that lust card. It's this huge banquet and party in your honor. And you're there, but you're not getting wet. In other words, it's not changing who you are fundamentally. You can indulge in it and remember that you are separate from it. You're riding on the water, but you're not the water. You're not getting wet there. Okay? In other words, you're staying true to yourself. You're staying authentic. Yeah. I like the very, very good confirmation here. I think this is nice. And we even see that here. The figure on the eagle, they're swooping down toward the surface of the water, but they're not getting wet. They're riding just above the surface of the water. Okay? Able to enjoy the scenery, enjoy the energy, but they're not getting consumed by it to where they lose all sense of self, all identity. Okay? I think that is a very, very strong point for you right now. Extraordinary. We're going to do an extended reading. We'll do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Aries Monday and Friday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.